Today's topic, how to have mind-blowing orgasms. Getting spicy with it. A simple explanation for something that requires plenty of time to master and fully understand. The art of meaningful, passionate, everlasting sex requires the art of perfection in order to succeed. That's right, can't have one without the other. Never have sex just to have sex. Only have sex because you strongly desire to not only please yourself, but your partner as well. Here's the secret formula. Your pleasure is your partner's mission. Their pleasure is your mission. Plain and simple. Therefore, in order to have the most earth-shattering, unbelievable sex possible, both you and your partner must do everything that you both desire, many times together, until you both master each other's deepest sexual desires and sexual fantasies. You see, most relationships, they don't last, unfortunately, because love is the most powerful feeling in this world. Anybody who says otherwise is a joke. They don't know what they're talking about. So if you want love to succeed forever and ever, everlasting, hence the word everlasting, it's perfection that you need to strive for, both of you. So let's go ahead and continue, shall we? Now, toss out the fast version of sex. That version is fine when you both don't have too much time and want to pull off what many call a quickie. But when you have all the time in the world, which you should make time for sex, meaningful sex, okay? It's a learning process, people. You can't rush the most beautiful feeling in the world. It's time to focus on slow sex, nice and slow. It's the only way to connect together as one, physically, emotionally, and mentally, even spiritually, on a soul level, eventually. You don't get there overnight, though. Focus on your technique. Focus on your partner's reactions. Be skillful in the way you touch each other. Always paying attention to avoid tickling each other. This is not a moment to be laughing. You gotta take sex seriously, okay? I mean, a little giggle here and there is fine, but if you're giggling constantly, you're not taking it seriously, and you guys are actually harming the whole experience, okay? It's not a time for comedy. You guys may be also causing any unwanted sensations by not focusing enough. Communication is key, in other words. Teach each other precisely what you want. Detail for detail. Teach each other how you want to be touched. What movements turn you on the most. You gotta be precise, people. This is a time to be surgically precise, in fact, with as much detail as possible. And go ahead, because watching specific pornographic videos, for example, is a fantastic way to quickly show each other what you like. Be gentle with every movement, every touch, applying much desired warmth in all the right places. Be fully aware during sex. This is not a time to be daydreaming. Your mission is to create remarkable sensations, paying attention to every detail, every hint, and every inch of your partner's body. Now, those of you out there who are against pornography, I really feel sorry for you. And I hope that you guys reconsider. All it is an educational tool. Nobody's harming anybody. It's just, depiction of sex. Okay, wow, big deal. So use it to your advantage. It's a quick way to show your partner, hey, you know what? I think these two are showing exactly what I want. Boom, done. Now all you have to do is practice it. They say a picture is worth 1,000 words, so why not just watch a quick video on it and be done with it? The only thing I am against in pornography is addiction. You should never be addicted to pornography. If you have somebody to love with all your heart and soul, then you don't need pornography. You get it? Pornography is only for like lonely people and for couples who still are learning about each other and they want to use it as a tool. That's about it. But I already did a stream about pornography a long time ago. So let's go ahead and proceed, shall we? You know, and when I say every inch of your partner's body, I'm saying what you're focusing on. Okay, I mean, it's just, you got to go by feeling. and also what your partner likes. So it's a constant synchronization process. There is a lot that goes on when having the best quality sex. Kissing the mouth, the neck, tongue kissing as well, licking the body, touching the body, kissing the body, which should happen, especially while giving oral sex. Caressing the arms, legs, abdomen, hips, chest, touching the hair, pulling the hair gently. Nothing forceful, people. There's no need for it, seriously. The back, the face, and of course, the genitals. The genitals are extremely important. Cuddling before and after sex. Men, you guys should listen up. You should control your urge to thrust very quickly during sex as well. If you don't like cuddling, you got issues. Get over it, okay? Because cuddling, I mean, that just shows how much you love your partner right there. It's not a feminine thing to do. Men should love to cuddle with their partner. It's very masculine, in fact. It shows her just how much you love her, that you can't get enough of her. So if you have that type of toxic machismo in you that is like, no, I don't cuddle, I don't do those women-like things. Oh boy, you're going to have a rough future and a messed up relationship. I really hope that you reconsider the act of cuddling, because cuddling is pretty much a hug on steroids. Let's go ahead and continue. So, talking about men, once again, let me repeat this part. Men should control their urge to thrust too quickly. This is not a race. We're not trying to get done. There is no award or trophy for finishing quickly. Why are you rushing in the first place? You should not be rushing. Focus on long, deep, sensational thrusting. I know sometimes it can be too much, but you'll eventually train yourself to last longer, okay? So she can enjoy every inch of pleasure as she builds up to having as many orgasms as possible. Simply from slow, deep penetration alone. Shift from one position to the next, but never shift too quickly. And you don't have to perform every single sex position imaginable, like the Kama Sutra, okay? Most of those positions are just... it's just garbage, okay? Look, I mean, if you focus on powerful positions that you both like, trust me, both partners should be just fine with just a handful of powerful sex positions that you both like. Approach each other slowly, take your time, calmly prepare for your next move. Both of you should learn how to take the lead, not just one person all the time. Because that's just monotony, that's mediocrity, that's just mediocrity. You don't want that. You should both feel like you are both in control when alternating between giving and receiving. Try to be as balanced as possible, but you shouldn't be distracted by it. It's going to feel natural, don't worry. Like a smooth dance, making love is all about physical, emotional, and spiritual connections. Okay, so never rush. That's one of the biggest mistakes ever. And people think, yeah, faster, harder. That's probably makes for a good pornographic video, but it gets old after a while. Like the slow lovemaking is always going to be the winner because you're being gentle with your partner. You're showing how much you care for them. Nobody's going to go hug each other and squeeze the life out of them, right? So why does everything have to be so intense? Or hug each other for like a split second? That's not a meaningful hug, right? You get my drift? You see where I'm going with this? So when something like, if you're going to hug somebody goodbye, you probably might never see them again. You're not going to just go up to them and give a peck on the cheek and a quick little meaningless hug just to get it over with, right? It doesn't make any sense at all, okay? I mean, patience really is meaningful. And also, the time you spent really just with each other, embracing each other, because that's where it is right there, embracing each other. It's just so powerful, but unfortunately, I can't just teach these things word for word. You have to feel it to believe it and to respect it and to understand its power, like many things in intimacy. Let's go ahead and proceed. All right, so men, it's finally time for the final finale, the money shot, the fireworks. It's finally time to explode. After she's had as many orgasms as possible, now, according to how many she's satisfied with. So, females that can have as many orgasms as they want during sex, but men, I mean, come on. Your queen always comes first. However, that doesn't mean you come last. Don't get it twisted. When it comes to having sex, yes, you will always literally come last. However, in oral sex, that could be the entire session. Now you're first. Just her giving you oral sex nice and slow until you have a crazy, unforgettable orgasm as she swallows with a smile, worshiping you the entire time. I mean, hey, now you're being treated like the king that you are, right? So, hey, it's all about you. Or if it's her oral sex session, then it's all about her. Vice versa, right? Okay. Of course, she can swallow during sex as well, if that's what you want, but also consider exploding on top of her body. As you enjoy the highly erotic visual stimulation, she can still pick it all up and swallow every drop. I mean, that's very erotic with her fingers. Extremely erotic and memorable. I mean, you got to get sloppy, you got to get messy, and let me tell you something. Swallowing means I love you forever and ever. I'm just going to leave it at that. Now, anybody who wants to debate me on this and argue, you got mental and emotional issues. I'm serious. Because there's a way of saying I love you forever and ever, and these are physical demonstrations that are just non-debatable. I mean, you know when somebody loves you when they can't get enough of you. So if they're not tongue-kissing you every day, if they're not doing these things such as swallowing and worshiping you and glorifying you and obsessed with you, it's not going to last a lifetime. You're only lying to yourselves. Look, sex, love, it all needs to be maximum. At the max. Let me give a quick little cheesy example. I will say cheesy. When you go to a refrigerator, you expect the freezer to keep the freezer, the frozen items frozen. And then the refrigerator to keep things not frozen, but just cool enough the way you like it, right? Okay, so love is pretty much the same way, people. When you go to have sex, there should be a whole oven of pleasure. I'm talking like 400 degrees pleasure in that bedroom or wherever you guys choose to have sex. It should be hot, sweaty, steamy. You guys can have air conditioning. You guys get the point, okay? I'm talking about the passion better be burning hot. There's a time to be chill. A lot of people say Netflix and chill, which I think is cheesy itself, but there's a time for that too. I'm saying that you guys have to really focus on your relationship here. You know, how much, I mean, you can't be maximum all the time, but this is the time to be at the max. You have to take sex very seriously. If it becomes a routine, now you guys are headed downhill. And I know sometimes you guys might have the days where you're not at your maximum performance. That's fine. That's fine. Just make sure it's not all the time, right? And I'm not saying, you know, to be all high in expectations like you're high and mighty. No, I'm just saying that this is what you both should be shooting for. Unforgettable sexual experiences full of creative ideas and imagination. You know, dressing up, you know, costume playing, right? Like she might play the nurse, you might play the... If you guys are into role-playing and dressing up in costumes or even a tutu for all I care, that could be extremely highly erotic. Like I said previously in my clothing stream. Dressing for success. You know, creativity and imagination seems to have gone out the window these days. People just want to just bang it out and get it over with and say, yeah, that was great. It's... And they're just sitting there lying to themselves. No, that's not the best sex ever. And it doesn't matter if you both have perfect bodies to make love to each other. That's not what it's about. You know, it's about the connections being made and how powerful they are and the specific details that are involved. It's an art form. There should be nothing taboo in this topic. You know, when it comes to sweat, saliva, semen, other people call it sperm, you shouldn't be shying away from these words. That's weak. That's very weak. You should be anxious to talk about, you know, the topic of sex and all the glorious, fabulous details found within. Should be exciting. I mean, we are naturally creatures of sex. We were born out of sex itself. Without sex, we're not humans. Life wouldn't even be possible. So let's go ahead and continue, shall we? I mean, the orgasm is a beautiful thing. It's so beautiful. And I could go on and on about why. All right, so sexual compatibility is an absolute must in a lifelong relationship. Think about it. If you're going to get on a bus on a 5-hour ride, do you want to be sitting next to somebody who's like, are we there yet? So, how's it going? Two things are going to happen. Either you're going to get very annoyed or you're going to fall asleep. Hopefully you fall asleep in that case. But a life spent with your partner next to you, I really hope it's not like that bus ride. You guys should be laughing and singing, more than just 1,000 beers on the wall. It should be something mature, intelligent, intriguing, intelligent conversation, something like maybe a topic that has to do with wisdom or just something fun to talk about that keeps you guys both laughing and happy. And then guess what? Time flies when you're having fun, right? Well, that's what sex should be like. It should feel like, wow, that was amazing. Can't wait to do that again. Or you know what? Can't wait to try this next. That's what your sex life should be like. I can't wait to try this next. Or, oh my goodness, you were amazing with the things that you did. And then you guys actually talk about it. You're not rating each other. You guys could give each other productive feedback by saying, you know what, I think if you were to do this just a little bit this way, or you know what, no, I wasn't really feeling it today. That's on me. But you were great. Nothing wrong with you. I mean, it's not about right or wrong, but I'm just saying feedback, be gentle, but be honest. And you guys should both be able to handle feedback. It's not criticism. That's a very big difference. Feedback is productive. Criticism is negative. Like, okay, what are you complaining about? This is not a time to complain. This is a time to suggest in order to perfect the art of sex. It goes both ways. Because giving, it's not all about giving. I'm giving you pleasure. Sometimes you have to be a good receiver. Be open to new things. And just be patient, right? So patience goes a long way, and then you start to understand the sensations going on and maybe become more creative. Maybe you start learning about what you really like. And it's not about what you don't like. It's just about what you want and what your partner can provide to you. Because if you're satisfied and they're not satisfied, that's a big red flag. Or the reverse. Or if you're both not satisfied, the ideal is obviously you're both satisfied, but beyond satisfied. You guys feel like, wow, there is nobody else that can possibly do that better than you. And that's exactly why I'm with you, because not just sexually, but because I love everything about you more than sex, obviously. But sex is by far an extremely important part of the relationship. Once again, this person next to you that you call your partner represents all the sexual experiences that you're ever going to have from this point onward. That's when you say I love you to this person and I want to live with you forever. I want to love you forever. They have to pull their weight, right? They have to fulfill all of your needs and wants. They have to be your fantasy and beyond. And you have to be theirs. That's what I mean by commitment. You don't just get married and say, I vow to do this and I vow to... Okay, go to Chuck E. Cheese and it's over, right? I mean, it's just a show. I mean, it's supposed to be a meaningful show, marriage, but they don't get into the specifics like, I vow to be your sexual fantasy every living day of my life. Wow, now that's a vow, because it's very important. I vow to always treat you with respect and to honor you everywhere I go, and to always be appreciative and grateful for the things that you do to me and with me. And, your partner should say the same vows in return. I mean, how hard is this, people? Right? When it comes to commitment, your lifelong commitment. All right, so let's go ahead and continue on here. So anyone who says otherwise regarding sexual compatibility knows absolutely nothing about true love. When they downplay sex as this, sex is not that important. No. You need to stop teaching whatever it is you think you're teaching if you have that to say. Sex is extremely important. I would say number 1 on the list. Sexual pleasure. So to secure a successful, happy, everlasting relationship, sexual satisfaction needs to always be at the highest level. There are many, many details when it comes to every sexual activity, most of which would take far too long to explain here. That's why I wrote my book with over 120 topics covered, very solid topics, no cheesy chapters, it's just straight to the point. You're not going to be able to put it down, including very specific sexual topics towards the end, as well as my highly educational 1-hour video course for those who don't like to read, which is a shame because this book, like I said, my soulmate doesn't like to read, but this was the only book in her life that she just couldn't put down. I'll just leave it at that. When it comes to sex, almost everything requires great precision, but it also involves doing things in a fun, sensual, sloppy, very messy manner. I could get very specific with that. You'll also be super surprised on just how powerful orgasms are when you learn to focus on one very small, tiny, highly erotic spot. And I'm not just talking about the clitoris, for example. For men, on the penis, if she focuses on one little spot there, I mean, and they even have pornographic videos. And believe me, when you try it for yourself with your partner, my goodness, yeah, it's more pleasurable than those pornographic videos will ever show you. Because it's your experience. And let me just say, that's mind-blowing right there. But keep in mind, people, this is not just about the physical actions. It's extremely important, though. Otherwise, without sexual satisfaction, you can't reach the level of emotional, mental, and spiritual connection. You're literally showing your partner just how much you love them and how much their desires, their wants and needs matter to you. That's what this is. So, that's why you don't control your partner aggressively during sex. If you guys want to slap each other's glutes, I get that. The tushy, the bum, the bottom. Look, I get it. BDSM, no. BDSM, no. Just no. Sex is supposed to be pleasurable. It has nothing to do with pain. And I know some people that say sometimes it hurts. Well, look, you should be more gentle, right? No, but it's pleasurable. Look, just stop it, okay? You're not taking your time if that's the case. And I know you guys could get used to that, and also when it comes to sex toys, I would advise to lay off them pretty much completely. They have their place in a long-distance situation, long-distance relationship, which can happen at any time. Okay, I get it. But don't desensitize yourself to the point of oblivion. There's so many people out there who unfortunately prefer sex toys over their partner. That means that their partner is literally useless and meaningless. And that's where I'm against sex toys. And pornography, the same. If you enjoy watching pornography over having sex with your own partner, you are not only in the wrong relationship, but you got mental and emotional issues to work on by yourself. I would hope that you're not with anybody if you're addicted to pornography. Or masturbation, too. If you're addicted to having multiple orgasms by yourself when you have a loving partner by your side, that is a very sad reality. And if you're in a sexless marriage, that's not a marriage at all. You're pretty much, that's an extended divorce until it's finalized and official. And I really hope you're not in a sexless marriage. And I hope you're not living alone either when there's somebody out there that wants you so bad, you haven't even met them yet. So what are you doing wasting time of your life? Oh, but I gotta work, I don't care. You shouldn't care either. I want happiness at your doorstep. What do you want? And I'll leave you with that thought. So much love, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this show. And enjoy the weekend. And yeah, till next time.